well, if it isn't everybody's favorite podcast, The Guard Chug. We talk baseball with Roger First and Ross Schreiber, with special guest Crutch. Join the guys as they get ready for the Guardians' postseason play. Because the last thing you want to hear about are Cleveland Browns fans talking about their crappy football team. Grab your peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Get ready. It is The Guard Chug, presented by Network 216, and sponsored by Homage and Underdog Fantasy.
Well, how about that?
How about them apples?
Yeah. How about those apples? That was pretty good, man.
Man, I'm excited for this. Is the very first episode of The Guard Chug. Man, remember when we used to talk about the Browns?
Oh, man, those were lean days. Weren't too many championship seasons, playoff seasons. Not like the Guardians, man. Not like that franchise on the corner of 9th and, they're the winningest franchise in this city. 10 years they've been in and out of, I heard that they only, missed the playoffs 3 times?
3 times with Tito?
Since Tito, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And he's pretty much always been in the hunt in the playoffs every single season.
Right. They don't get their due in this city. So, yeah. It's where somebody's missing tonight, Andy.
Oh, I didn't know.
We're down a man. We're down a man on Dog Chug and or on Guard Chug. What's going on?
I don't know. Well, filling the void for Andy, I had to have a handful of beers ready. That's pretty much what he does. He just does a podcast so he can hang out and drink with us.
That's pretty much why.
That's pretty much all I got to do to fill the void, honestly.
That's why it all started. Hey, you know what I found? I was scrolling through him and I's DM from when I got all the way back to when it first started. And one day I was just like, it was August 10th. I was like, hey, we should do a podcast. He's like, hey, okay, let's do a podcast. And
unfortunately, the Dog Chug is over with, and now we're doing the Guard Chug. So I hope that doesn't screw up his plans too much when he comes back.
Heather named us. That was Heather's idea. And we just planned on drinking. That's all we talked about is how we can drink on Wednesday nights and have a reason. So, yeah. But this is to Andy and Heather, Krista, and to the new addition to the mansions, Winston Mansion. And Andy's off tonight. What's that?
Weston.
What did I say?
Winston.
Oh, that's what you typed here in the notes.
Throwing me under the bus, huh?
I don't have my readers on. But Andy's tending to his family tonight, so it's just me and Ross, and we put together a pretty good show, I think. Yeah,
got an exciting show lined up. Guards, October baseball doesn't get any better than that. It's when everyone in Cleveland remembers we have a baseball team. It's a good time.
Yeah. Why don't we bring in our Dog Chug contributor and friend of the show? I told her she's Dog Chug family now.
Yes. Well, here
Browns
she is.
Fangirl, Sherry.
Sherry, what's up?
Hey guys. So we're totally gonna get rid of the Browns. Do I have to change my name?
I mean, it might help you get a following. I mean, Guard's Twitter isn't as massive as Brown's Twitter, but I mean,
well,
you can make it happen. Just make sure the name's not taken.
Maybe I could put an asterisk somewhere or a dash or something.
I've heard there's a trick. You put 2 underscores in there. It usually works pretty well.
Oh my!
I heard that too. Just
a little trick from an old friend.
Trick of the trade, huh? Good to know. Well, I have to learn baseball like that. I need a remedial.
Yeah. Roger's our baseball guy, so this is a special episode for him. So you're gonna see that I don't know much, and if you don't know much, Roger will just fill the void. He'll throw the stats at us. He'll give us the knowledge. He talks ball.
I know. I have a fun anecdote that you might enjoy.
Please share. Yes, definitely.
Growing up in South Florida, my neighbor was the manager of a baseball team known as they were Canadian, the Montreal Expos. Felipe Alou.
Really?
Yeah, he was my neighbor growing up. He was so nice. And I heard he's kind of a big deal, but I just knew him as my neighbor. My dog would take off, run in his yard and stuff. And he was always out fishing. We lived on a lake. And
That's awesome, man.
So yeah, no, I just know him as my
And
neighbor, and he was just super nice.
he just lives in the neighborhood. He's right
Yeah,
there.
he was one house down from my house.
Wow.
So that's my fun.
Very cool. Yeah, an old Montreal Expo. Moses of the Loom,
Yeah, and they used to do, I think, spring training at my high school in Santa Lucias because I remember the stuff was painted for them for a bit. So, but this is way back, the 90s. But yeah, no, really nice guy.
Way back in them 90s. Yeah,
back in my single digit years.
Jeez, oh man, it's back in the olden days.
Let's all take a minute to scowl at Ross.
I'm the youngin' here, that's all.
Hey, ladies, anyways, we don't age, right, ladies?
Thanks for joining, Sherry, and we are going to do a very special edition of Guard Chug Update.
All right.
So Sherry's going to kick us off.
All right, the Kenny Pickett era in Pittsburgh has begun. The Steelers are expected to move forward with the 20th overall homegrown Kenny Pickett as their starting quarterback, replacing the veteran Mitch Trubisky. When asked about the move, Mike Tomlin said, I can't do a Mike Tomlin voice, so I'm not going to do it, but in my head I am. We didn't do much in the first half, not enough offensively, and I thought he could provide a spark for us. Kenny Pickett did indeed provide a spark for the New York Jets. Wah, wah. Pickett threw 3 interceptions in his first action as the Steelers signal caller, and considering the dumpster fire the Steelers QB room is, his 3 interception day is good enough to earn him his first NFL start when the Steelers face the Bills on the road Sunday. Dog Chug co-host, our beloved Andy, and his wife gave birth to baby Manch, who came out a whopping 6 pounds and 11 ounces, 20 inches long, and he already had hands that could grip the football better than Kenny Pickett's little tiny kitten mitten hands. Oh yeah, look at that.
What?
Roger? Hey, Roger. What's up?
Dog Chug update. We got an exclusive interview with Baby Manch. Weston, it's so great to finally meet you. First of all, how was your trip? How's it going for you, little guy? What's going on?
Oh man, it's great to be out of that belly, if you know what I mean. Mostly just to see my mom and meet my mom and have my mom hold me. But my dad, man, that guy's a character. Try to stay as far away from him as possible.
How did I got to ask you, how did the whole birth thing go? How was that for you? What was that experience like? Do you remember?
I remember. I remember it was a lot nicer to be inside there. I was with my mom all the time, like I said, away from my crazy dad who's always drinking. But you know what? It's kind of nice to be out, see other people in the world, get to know them, finally get to interact. It's not too bad.
I'm going to ask you, I screwed your name up early. I know you as Baby Manch. You know, you've been coming on the show, and I got to tell you, your voice, it's not, I love your regular voice. That creepy voice that you had was kind of scary.
I'm not a damn robot anymore.
Yeah, exactly. You're not a robot anymore. But I got to ask you, how do you feel about being named Weston?
It's kind of an interesting game. I mean, I sound like I'm damn royalty or something. Weston Mansion of the Mansion royal family? What, is my dad a king? Is my mom the queen? Am I inheriting a country? This is America, not England.
I'm sorry. So now that you're out of the womb, are you excited to watch your first Browns game with your daddy?
First off, you think I'm going to watch the damn Browns? I've seen what my dad's gone through. He has to drink all the time just to deal with the Browns. And that team has sucked so long, I don't want to be a fan of that fan base. I want to be a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They got a winning culture and awesome football heritage. I just can't wait. Here we go, Steelers.
Oh, okay. You know what? Gender reveals are a pretty big thing out here. and your mom and dad did one, and it was a chug reveal. What's your thoughts on that?
Think I'm surprised at all? I know what that guy does every Sunday. Actually, every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, every Friday, every Saturday. You think he was going to stop drinking just for a gender reveal? No, he makes a fucking game out of it.
Did you, Sunday morning he did a big giant chug. He did a mansion iced tea where he put everything in the house in a glass and he drank it. And then he went to the hospital and you came out. You came along.
Sounds like a responsible guy that I should be looking up to. Glad I have mom.
You're a fan of your dad's chugs, right?
I mean, if you define fan as being a fan of him getting so drunk that he goes to bed, yes, that's the best. I don't have to see him when he's sleeping on the couch.
Yeah. You know what? Are you as concerned about your dad's liver as the rest of us?
Not really. If he's made it this far in life with one kid already, I think he'll make it with me. I'll definitely give him more trouble than that girl does. Let's change this. What do you think about Brown's Twitter? And do you have a Twitter account yet? Baby Manch at Out of the Oh
Womb.
no. I'm on Instagram. I'm sliding into DMs already. I'm finding all the hot baby girls out there. Twitter's for creeps, weirdos, and old people.
Ooh.
Ouch.
You know what I was wondering? Like inside the womb, is there a bathroom or something? Or what, you just like in a fish tank? What's going on? Is you just floating around in it? Do you remember any of that stuff?
Roger, do you think I'm a scientist or something? I'm just a baby, for crying out loud. Just because you were talking to me on the dog chug in the womb doesn't mean I know as much as a 36-year-old scientist.
We know you love the dog chug. You've told us many times how much you loved it. This is the last question I got for you. Do you aspire to someday host a dog chug, take over for your dad?
Actually, just a little bit. And by take over, I mean take over. I'm cleaning ship. Roger's gone. Ross is gone. All those stupid guests they bring on are gone. It's going to be me and the future. Whatever they name my generation, those people are coming on.
Oh, well, it's been good. Okay, who do you got in the Guardians of the Rays? What do you got? What's your call there? Who do you got?
Oh, man. I guess guards. Guardians, guards, Gardos. I don't know what they call them. Let's go with Guardians. I don't know enough about baseball. All I do is hear my dad talk about stupid football and those damn Browns.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sure you'll come by and visit from time to time. I was sure before you're packed off and sent to boarding school or military school. I'm sure we'll have a chance to get to really know you. Good talking with you. Thanks for coming by. You got anything else you want to say to Dog Chug?
Yeah, just thanks for having me on when my dad wasn't on. This has actually been a decent experience.
Okay, wise guy. All right, thanks for coming by.
Man.
Yeah, he's not as mouthy as he was when he was in the womb. Did you notice that?
Yeah, he was feistier in utero.
He's feisty, but he's not as mean, I don't think.
Yeah, I think you're right. He was a little more abusive when he was
downright nasty.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but it's
we are back to the Guard Chug update. Roger, what you got?
I do have one. This one's out of New York, I think. Yeah, right here. The Yankees' last regular season homestand concluded this past weekend, and Aaron Judge remained tied with Roger Maris at 61 home runs and failed to break the record in front of the home crowd. He's since broken it in Arlington, but while in the Bronx, Judge collected just one hit and 13 plate appearances with 5 strikeouts and 5 walks for Baltimore pitching. The anticipation. I'm sorry. You know what? My screen just went out. Go ahead, do the next one.
Oh man, it's tough when Andy's not here.
Yeah,
you got to put Roger in line a little more. It's not that easy. There's a joke in there somewhere that someone's laughing at.
I know. I don't know why that happened.
Clevelanders were outraged when the MLB announced that the wild card schedule, with the wild card schedule, and we were given 3 day games Why wouldn't the MLB want to showcase one of the most exciting young teams in the league in front of one of the most indifferent AA sized crowds that pass out by the 6th inning? It doesn't make any sense. Sherry?
Oh, me.
Sherry, yes.
I have some fun gossip that we all been following about our favorite, not favorite couple, Mr. Tom Brady and Miss Giselle Bundchen. It's very hard to say her last name. I had to look it up like 5 times. I'm like, where is she? She's Brazilian, right? But I don't understand her last name. Isn't it like German? They're 2 little like dots over the U. We need to have somebody like a linguist on or something. Okay, they've both hired divorce attorneys. Unfortunately, Giselle has been a no-show at the games, and it's been reported since his unretirement is what caused the rift between the two, unfortunately. Brady was spotted out yachting with Leonardo DiCaprio, multiple reports stating that he's trying to get over the breakup. It left Giselle wondering who would be in her corner to help her with her grief. Not long after reports, Zach Wilson walking up to Brady's kids and telling the nanny, "I got this, hold my beer." He's a sassy young one, that Zach Wilson.
Well, thank you, Sherry.
Of course, my pleasure.
I wouldn't say another edition of the update. It's actually the first edition of the Guard Chug update. So thank you for taking part in this.
Yeah,
we appreciate your contribution as always.
Absolutely.
My pleasure, guys.
You got a pretty good streak going. What is this, like your 3rd or 4th show?
I know. I'm excited. I think I'm doing better than Dan now all of a sudden. Like, he kind of... I always have my shirt on.
Yeah, someone's keeping track of the Dog Chug stats. I'm producer. I feel like I should be, but...
So this is Guard Chug. So this is like, what am I, two or 3 Dog Chugs and a Guard Chug? Numero uno?
Yeah, we're going to have to refer to someone else if it counts as one, like expansion teams,
right,
and all that, kind of like how sports work. Just because the Seattle Sonics turned into Oklahoma City Thunder, they kept all their records for some reason. Maybe the Guard Chug will work that way. So let's just say the streak kept going regardless of the name.
Okay, good. I like it.
It's easier that way.
Absolutely.
All right, Sherry. Thanks for coming on.
Right.
And she's always a good time.
Yeah. Back, you know what, man? First time I had a glitch, and I just like jumped to another note. It was weird. What do we got? We got to bring our guest in.
Oh, absolutely. I think everyone's really excited for this guy. I mean, he actually brings us like 1 viewer extra.
He does,
on.
and
it's actually
he hasn't
him.
been on in a while.
Well, so here he is. Crutch.
Hey,
what's up?
Not much. What's going on, guys?
Good. We have a lot of new, a bigger audience now, a new audience. We're on the Network 216. I think this is your first appearance on the show since we've become part of a sports network.
Oh, wow.
So I think you need to introduce yourself to this awesome audience we have.
Of 2 or 3 people? Okay, sure. Of myself? I was trying to troll on the and make comments, but I couldn't figure. I was afraid if I did that, I'd get kicked out of the guest room.
See, someone's already telling us having Sherry brings fans. He's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong at all.
What they're trying to say is, why'd you bring this Crutch guy on so early?
Right.
Well, for me, introduce myself. I'm Crutch. I've known Andy since we were in college together, and that's about it.
You are a fan of all things Cleveland sports, correct?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Cavs, Guardians, Browns. I'm all about it.
Crutch, awesome. She's a man of few words. It'd take an hour to tell you how humble he is, not Crutch.
Well, so, yeah, Crutch is familiar with what we do here. But first, I wanted to let you know about homage. So you guys have probably worn homage apparel before. I have this awesome Giant C shirt on that I got from Homage right when it came out. It's actually my first Guardian shirt I ever bought. But they also have really comfortable hoodies. My wife always makes her buy the hoodies. We got a Browns one. But if you don't want Brown stuff, they also have Guardian stuff, Brown stuff, Cavs stuff. They have pop culture things. They have WWE, all of that, the works. Heck, if you're lucky enough, you could grab one of those starter jackets they have on the site time to time. Look a little retro. They got a lot of cool vintage-inspired stuff. So check out Homage. You can go to the Network 216 page. We have a link that you can shop through. It helps us out. It helps Homage out. Check out their store, and you won't be disappointed. So, Crutch, we got something pretty excited. We're excited to share. It's actually our first version of Power Rankings we've ever done on the show. I guess everything's the first time because this is the Guard Chug. This is our very first Guard Chug episode.
Right.
But we've never done anything like this before. So
Awesome.
we have 10 Guardians nicknames, and we're going to power rank them.
It's Cleveland baseball nicknames, really, right?
Yeah, Cleveland baseball team.
Yeah.
But some people are calling them, the people that are still kind of protesting this.
Oh, fuck them people.
So anyways, feel free to chime in with your opinion on any of these nicknames and what you think. So coming in at number 10, Indians. There's a lot of people on Facebook still saying they're calling them the Indians.
You know
They're
what?
dying on that hill.
That's where I noticed it too, man. Because like my family and like friends that I've known for 50 years are on Facebook. That's how I keep in touch with them. And I'll go on there, and there's people still pissed about the name change. And it's just like, just get over it, man. I don't want to call them the Indians today. You got it at 10 on the list.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Well, this is our power ranking. So
Right.
actually, I probably should have made that an honorable mention. I don't think it even deserves to be in the conversation. All right, number 9. Oh crap! Something disappeared on me. G-Men. Phelps is known for doing this on his radio show. He's trying to spread false propaganda. How do you feel about G-Men, Roger?
Which one is it?
G-Men.
Yeah. It would be helpful if we had. Are you supposed to have the names of the nicknames in that PowerPoint?
No, you're supposed to listen, Crutch.
Okay.
No, man, when I go to one of the Baskin or Phelps, and I don't know which one's which, and I've been listening to them forever, and I can't stand either one. But one of them call them G-Men all the time, and it drives me insane.
Yeah,
that's the New York Giants. Don't steal their name. You know what I mean? It drives me insane. G-Men sucks.
Plus, it has that's what you call FBI agents, right?
Yeah, government men, G-men.
Next thing, the Giants.
All right.
So,
damn the man.
Coming in at number 8, the Bridges.
The Bridges, that's just like sarcasm. It's people that don't really care that they're not the Indians anymore, but just want to be dicks. That's who you'd call it, the Bridges. Just to mock the name. That's my take on it. What do you think? Right. Crutch, what do you...
What? Oh,
yeah,
there's people like... Yeah.
It's pretty weak. That's weak.
Yeah. Okay. Coming in at number 7, the Cleveland baseball team.
I actually
copy the Washington, D.C. football team.
I'm going to tell you, before, when they got rid of Chief Wahoo, I was against that. That was my whole childhood. But once Chief Wahoo was gone and they wanted to get rid of the Indians name, and it really didn't matter to me, to be honest. But I didn't like the Guardians in the beginning. But I was like, call them anything. Just call them the Cleveland Baseball Club. More before you would call them like the Rockers or anything to do with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or anything ridiculous like that, But then eventually I came around because the guy that actually sculpted them, he's from Akron. He's an Italian immigrant that's from North Hill, Akron, and his son, they still live in Akron. I read a story about it, and I started looking into it, and so the name grew on me, and I love the Guardians now. About that.
All right, next one. This is one you hear a lot. The Guards.
I like
that. Crutch.
That one's I can get behind that. I can support that one.
So here's my beef with guards. I don't like when nicknames or phrases are shoved down our throats. Like, it's just like they already made T-shirts that they're handing out at the game for free. Guards, everyone online saying "Go Guards." The team's backing it. They're telling us we got to do it. I just want it to be organic, and we couldn't even go like 1 year without something just coming up on its own. I mean, do you remember one thing that annoyed me about LeBron James? The whole King James thing. Like, everything was already predetermined before he even shot the basketball. And that's how I feel with the guards a little bit. I mean, it's not a terrible name. It's pretty natural in a way because it's the first part of Guardian. But I don't know.
It's shorter to type.
It's almost like it's just feels to me like the Guardians front office like, we got to push this because it's so easy. Let's get it over with. I don't want to deal with this. This is our nickname. Deal with it.
Yeah. I think it's just quicker to type guards than Guardians when you're tweeting or you're writing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like short, I do it all the time. If it's a really like exciting moment, I'll put G's. Just G's.
All right. So coming in at number 5,
5.
Tito's Daycare.
Oh.
That would make a good T-shirt. Hammett should get on that, and Tito with the they're got rattles instead of bats, and to have Quan and a couple and Tito above them, and I think it'd be a good T-shirt.
Or it would be Tito and Brian Shaw.
Yeah, Brian Shaw. Yeah,
they just run in the daycare.
Right.
Well, Brian Shaw is gone, isn't he?
Well, they designated him for assignment. I didn't see. Tito said if he cleared waivers, he'd bring him back. But I don't know if he'd be on the playoff roster. He'd probably put him back on the 40. I don't know what they did with him. I stopped paying attention. I stopped paying attention in 2016 when they trotted him back out there after the rain delay. I stopped paying attention to Shaw.
All right. So at number 4, we have Traffic Gods.
Mm.
I mean, it's literally why we named our team. We named our damn team after statues.
It's just, I don't.
And we don't want to have our nickname modeled after that?
That's awful. Traffic God.
Not much to say there. All right, now we're getting into the top 3. There's a lot of solid ones here. Number 3, the Guardies.
Yeah. Oh, next.
Are you good there, Roger?
Yeah, I dropped my bottle opener. I've been drinking cans all summer. Thing
was more of an anti-guards movement than anything, but I didn't mind it. I think it has a little ring to it. I'd rather say, here we go, Guardies. You need a good 2-syllable nickname.
Guardies is like cutesy, but
I guess it's like saying brownies.
Yeah. Get a merit badge or something.
Number 2, similar trend, but this one seems to be catching on a lot more. Ken Carman's a big push of it. The Gardos.
I'm a Gardos guy, man. That's my number 1. I'm a Gardos guy. It's fun. Sounds Italian. Gardos.
Here we go, Gardos. Here we go.
Right.
And number 1, to please everybody in Cleveland, we have the Tribe.
Oh,
man.
I always called them the Tribe forever. I rarely called them the Indians. I always said, let's go. We're going to a Tribe game. Let's get Tribe tickets. I don't think you know what I mean? I always refer to them as a Tribe. I love it. I love the Tribe, but I don't, that's not, it's a new era.
Eric's got a good one. Guardy sounds like an adult diaper.
Yes, exactly. You know which one? I'm glad you didn't say it because I would have lost my mind as a Guardiac Kids.
Yeah, I thought about it. I mean, but I didn't want you to have a heart attack.
Just be yourself. You know what I mean? Why steal the Browns? It's just like when the Browns would play to Ohio State to hang on Sloopy at Browns games because they were getting their ass beat so long, and every game they tried to get the crowd into it with an Ohio State rally song. I don't want the Guardians to do anything that has to do with the Browns. Be themselves. They're a better organization, a better franchise.
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
Well, Ross, that was quick thinking today. I started typing those. You started typing them. They were flying in.
So we're going to move on to the staple segment of our show, that is Spit, Sip, Chug.
All right.
And we know Crutch is familiar with that. So we're going to go through a bunch of statements. You're going to spit if you disagree with it. You're going to chug if you're like meh on it. And of course, you're going to chug if you agree with it. So first statement, the Guardians will make the ALCS. And Roger, we're going to start with you.
Always. Man, it's the Guard Chug. I got a chug on it. No matter what, they're going to have to claw and fight and come from behind and win. But right now, that's what they're doing. Even when the games didn't matter, they just kept on winning. We just need them to stay this hot for another 26 days or whatever it is. They're the hottest team in baseball. They can easily end up in the ALCS. I'm not afraid of the Yankees. You can win every regular season, every year hitting home runs. You can win the regular season, no problem. But you're not going to win in October if that's what you're relying on to get you to the World Series is hitting home runs. If you can't play baseball, you're not going to get. I don't see the Yankees. Whoever plays, if we can beat the Yankees. I'm not afraid of the Yankees.
Crutch?
All right. Well, I admire Roger's enthusiasm, and, that's fantastic. I mean, I'm ecstatic that they've made it. Like, winning the division was like, oh, my God, that's amazing. As far as anything, the playoffs, I figure it's great to be in this position because you're like, hey, it's bonus. You're playing with house money. So
no,
but I mean, we have to face the facts. They are the weakest team in the playoffs, and yeah, they've been super hot, but they've been playing against teams that are probably making plans for what they're going to be doing this winter and where they're going to go on vacation. So I'm gonna sip. I'm feeling good, but I can't chug on it.
I agree with that. The level of competition we played the last month and a half. I looked at that. I agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, the Tigers, Kansas City, what are they really?
Right. We're in and out of Kansas City, Minnesota. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm chugging on it.
Good
chug.
For you.
It's Guard Chug night.
I didn't make a whole guard-themed dog chug episode just to not agree with everything here. we're gonna make the ALC. We're gonna make the ALCS.
Right.
We gotta beat the Yankees. So what? I hope the Yankees have luck trying to hit against our relief pitching. Our bullpen's nasty.
They're nasty.
Get there. We're gonna beat every single team.
Right.
And that's kind of perfect for the first 3-game series. That should go pretty quick with our pitching and roll that into the ALCS. So get the 2-game sweep with the first 3 games. Jessica's got me laughing. Let Ross be transparent for that. Yeah, get through that sweep. You get like an extra day's rest. Bring that pitching machine back for that series against the Yankees, and we're good to go.
Yeah.
That's the fun thing about the baseball playoffs is anything can happen. So
anything can happen.
Kind of what happened with the Nationals a couple years ago when they won it all.
Right.
They had one of the lower seeds, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they were close to being the worst team in baseball, or in the National League, I think.
Yeah.
You know what they got going for them? The Guardians got going for them. They were 46-35 at home this year. They were 46-35 on the road. They can play on the road. They can win on the road, and they proved that all. And that's huge in October if you can win on the road. You take one game and somebody in New York, and a series can flip, and you can win that series. They're a good road team, man.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and look at this. Back-to-back Guardians statements. Stephen Kwan will win Rookie of the Year. And Crutch, we'll start with you.
Okay. I'm gonna Chug because I have no idea. I didn't even know he's a rookie. He's like an old rookie, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's
from the
25?
Mets.
I think he's 25.
Yeah, I mean, besides the Guardians, I don't even really know any other rookies that are having great year. I mean, my baseball knowledge is very specific to the Guardians.
Yeah. So with that, I am going to sip as well. It's kind of echoing exactly what Crutch said. It's very specific to the Guardians. And if I chug, that means I'm going to have an argument about why these 3 other rookies don't deserve it over him. So I'm going to leave that to Roger.
I'm gonna chug on it because he should win Rookie of the Year.
All right. I'll chug with you because you're doing my work for me.
But I don't think Quan plays a different style of baseball. He's going to get. I heard him say on the radio the other day. He said, "I don't care how I get on first base, but once I get on first base, I know I'm in scoring position with who's behind me." Mm-hmm. He will get on base no matter what. Every pitch, he's looking for a better pitch. Every pitch, he's one of the most. You know what? He made adjustments. He had a hot April. He got really cold in May. Pitchers made adjustments to him. He was able to make the adjustment to them, and nobody's been able to catch up. Now, they'll have all off season to study Quan, and he's going to have to adjust again next year. But I think he's capable because he's already done it. He was a low prospect. He wasn't even on people's radar, and he's a surprise out of nowhere. He should win it, but he's not going to win Rookie of the Year, and it's sad because that's just the way baseball is.
And you know what voters ignore a lot for Rookie of the Year? They ignore defense, and he's been an amazing defender in the outfield.
He's amazing.
And he's not going to get the bonus points for that. They're going to look at the batting average. They're going to look at RBIs and all that.
Right.
And they're just going to
ignore. They're going to look at his WAR, the advancement. They're going to look at the market. It's too bad because he's a hell of a ball player.
Yeah. All right. So moving on, we got a Brown statement. Nick Chubb will break Jim Brown's single-season rushing record by rushing for over 1,863 yards. I am going to chug on that.
Really?
First off, you got to remember we have the 17-game season, so you got that extra game to do it. I believe we're going to be a team that obviously is going to be playing through the 17th game. We're not going to sit starters or anything. And Chubb's on pace to get the most carries of his career in a single season. Plus, this offensive line looks like it's going to be just as good as that 2020 O-line. Their run blocking is crazy. Like I didn't grow up playing football. I'm not your like X's and O's guys, but like even I can see the creative stuff they're doing with the line, like swinging their guards around a lead block. And it doesn't matter if you're right or left guard. You're going to be running all over the field. Yeah. Same with our tight ends, receivers. They're all getting involved. And I think that's where Stefanski gets a lot of credit. And he's definitely relying on Chubb a lot, and he's not hiding that.
I'm going to sip on it. It's my first sip tonight. I'm going to sip on it because is he capable of doing that? Absolutely. You know, if you fed him the ball like they do Derrick Henry in Tennessee, Nick Chubb can surpass 2,000 yards. But we have a head coach that's going to throw the ball when you have Nick Chubb in the backfield and Kareem Hunt. He's going to throw the ball on second and goal on the opening drive instead of pounding it in, even if it takes the next 3 downs, because one of those 2 guys are going to get in the end zone from there. And when Deshaun Watson comes back, you think that coach is going to keep running, even if he kept running at the pace. Once he gets his quarterback, he's going to have Watson throwing the football all over the place. So, no, I'm sipping on it. He can do it, but I don't think he's going to be able to, beyond his control, do that.
This is all right. I'm going to spit on it.
All right.
Because
good spit.
If you would have said, will Chubb break Jim Brown's career rushing, I would have chugged on it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say Chubb is going to become close to that single season record and probably challenge it multiple years in a row but I'm just saying I don't think he breaks it. I think he comes close, but I think over time he breaks Brown as far as career records.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
I can agree with that.
We got the clean sweep of a spit sip chug there.
Wow.
All right. And the last spit sip chug statement. Now that the 2022 Cleveland Guardians are in the playoffs, all the I stop supporting the Cleveland baseball because the name change or cheap ownership people will all disappear. So will the haters disappear now that we're in the playoffs? Roger?
It's back to me. I'm spitting on that. They'll never go away. People are miserable. They're just going to continue to be miserable. They'll find something else to bitch about. We got people that want to fire Tito, for God's sakes. They just want to.
In our own
They
network,
just want to start fights. But now Matt, he changed that. He came back to the good side. But no, people always be miserable. It doesn't matter. They can win the World Series this year, and people will still bitch next year. Ownership won't spend money, blah, blah, blah. It'll never change. They'll never go away, unfortunately.
Oh, Jessica's spitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way people ever stop.
Let's see. All right. I guess
Yeah,
I'm gonna sip on that. Because they'll probably be quiet, definitely, and that's a great thing. And if they don't go away, I don't really care because I typically see somebody posting something about them still being the tribe. I'm just like, I don't care. I just skip over them in Twitter, or Facebook, or whatever. So I mean, they're practically gone in my opinion anyway, because I just don't pay attention.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna sip on it. I think the people that say they're not going to watch a team because they're cheap, those are the liars. Those are the ones that the second we're good, they start watching again. If you watch all the people, if I had receipts, which I don't do the whole receipt thing, like Roger, what would you say? 90% of Cleveland sports Twitter said they weren't going to support the team after Lindor wasn't re-signed.
Yeah.
And they literally like half a season later, they were back on.
Right.
That was the thing that pissed me off about those fans. But then I really do think there's the people that, there are people that are pissed off about like the name change and stuff, that some of them are sticking to their guns and they're just done, but I also think those kind of people look for an excuse to stop cheering for their team because they're constantly disappointed. It's like, you're going to see that with the Deshaun Watson stuff. Like, I'm one of the people that's disappointed we got him, but there's going to be people that said, you know what, that's enough. That's the reason I'm done with my team. And those kind of fans are not gone.
Yeah.
Crutch, were you going to say something?
I loved the name. I grew up with the Indians, but I reached a point where it's like the younger generation. What I saw on Twitter, anyways, was the younger people like the Guardians name, like even before it was selected, when they put the polls up, and they do that, and people would, and I see Guardians, and I was to me, it was like at the time, it didn't seem. I wanted something like first I was like the Cleveland Blues, because what they 1,000 years ago they were the Blues. That sounded professional or major league to me. But the young people love the Guardians, and then I realized, like, man, this is their team now. The younger generation of baseball fans, so they go out to the games and find something, make it theirs. So at that point, that's when I gave up the, don't change the name thing. And that was early on, I was just glad it wasn't the Spiders. That was awful.
I was actually pro Spiders.
Were you pro Spiders? I was
ready for the color change. I was ready for the branding change. I was ready. And there's a little bit of history there. Not as much as they make it out to be, but a little bit.
No, I wasn't a Spider guy.
Eric says Guardian sounds like a laser tag team, so he's not over it.
That was a pretty good spit chug we did there, and that's the first time I don't think anybody else ever written spit sip chug but Andy.
Yeah,
it's his baby. I hope we did okay for him.
Yeah. Hey Roger, do you got You got something to say about our
Oh,
other
yeah, I
sponsor?
do. We got to pay some bills. What I want to do is I want to tell you guys about the easiest way to get some action on NFL games is Underdog Fantasy and their pick'em game. All you got to do is you just pick over or under on your favorite or your least favorite player stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in a single night. Underdog keeps it super simple with their easy-to-use website and mobile apps. Pick between 2 and 5 players to fill out your pick'em slip. Get every pick right and take home some cold hard cash. Use the code _21 or it's just 216.
Yep.
And get your first deposit doubled to $100 by Underdog.
Right on.
That was it.
Okay, so we're going to move into a segment that we added since the last time Crutch was on, which is the greatest picks. So what we do here is we make 5 picks. It's pretty much a 5-game parlay with spreads between college and NFL games this week. So, for instance, Andy's not here today, but he did send in his pick. He's picking Texas Tech, who are 9.5-point dogs over Oklahoma State. So that's Andy's pick. My pick is going to be Philadelphia Eagles over the Arizona Cardinals. They are favored by 5. I think the Cardinals suck. They get really lucky when they do win. They barely win. When they lose, they really lose. That team just looks like a mess. I don't know if I've ever seen a more dysfunctional quarterback coach tandem that's supposed to be good. Usually when you see that kind of dysfunction, it's a terrible team with a quarterback who is not on a multi-million-dollar extension.
Yeah.
Just an odd situation there. I don't know what they're doing over there. So Roger, who do you got this week?
Man, I'm taking my Michigan Wolverines over Indiana.
Michigan is favored 22.5 points.
I know it's 22.5 points. You know what? Crutch has got to pick. Did you bring in Sherry first? Is she going to pick, or is it just Crutch, me, you, and Andy? I think it's just a guest.
So
I don't know. Yeah.
So I'll give a chance to the audience here. If you got a college or NFL game that you want to pick against the spread, just comment and we'll put it out there.
Yeah, give me one. I was going to take Michigan, but I saw the 22.5, and I was like, oh, man, I can't give anybody 22.5, points.
Well, hopefully we get it. We've been close.
But what's the spread on the Colts-Broncos game?
Oh, Colts-Broncos.
Yeah.
Let's see. Broncos are favored by 3.5 points.
Are they?
So there's a little teaser for you.
The Broncos are favored by 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the Broncos in the 3.5. The Colts are miserable.
Oh, you want to change? You want to get away from your Michigan one?
Yeah, take me off to Michigan. I can't do that. I can't give anybody. I won't give my mom 22.5 points.
All right.
Irish broad take you too.
Crutch, who do you got this weekend?
I got the Ohio Bobcats, the old alma mater, over Akron by
All right, Bobcats.
11.
Oh man, a little action going on.
Yep.
Man, it's good because what is that? That doesn't happen to be one of those like action like Tuesday, Wednesday games, does it?
I don't know. I don't think so.
So you get like one of those early betting games, like it's like the first game of the week. Oh man, we do have a comment.
What?
Do. The pick is in. MC Lawrence, Money Mitch, he's picking the Browns. Go figure.
Oh,
Who? MC Lawrence is taking the Browns?
Now I know it's been moving a lot. The Browns are 2.5 point dogs, which is actually I'm surprised it's that low.
Oh.
But we are at home. Herbert's still battling that rib injury. So yeah, Browns is our guest one. I think that's our very first YouTube comment pick. So hopefully that trend continues.
Yeah.
Woo.
That's definitely. I think the Browns will win. The Browns are going to win Sunday.
They need to. You can't lose
Absolutely.
the Atlanta and New York Jets.
Well, that's kind of where we're at right now, right, Ross? We're at the end.
Yeah, we're at the end.
We got all the picks.
The one thing I did not capture was we did not win our 5-game parlay last week.
No.
We were close again. I believe we had 4 right, 1 wrong. I forget what the 1 wrong one was. But we were keeping up in the chat, checking up on it, and I believe it was like the 3rd game that was up, and when we found out that was over, we kind of lost track.
I covered.
I covered, but I was very lucky. That's all I can say.
I covered.
All right. Well,
we're
going to
go
around and just make our predictions for the Browns versus Chargers games this weekend. I know it's the Guard Chug, but of course we do like to talk a little bit of Browns in here.
A little bit on the Guard Chug.
From time to time.
I mean, they do play in the city. People know about them. So,
Crutch, who do you got this weekend?
I'm gonna say they pull it out. They right the ship, and we get this win because we need it. So I don't know how they're gonna do it. I think it's gonna be tight, but somehow at the end of the day, we figure a way to walk out with a win.
Well, I'll do. I think the Browns are gonna lose. Unfortunately, Justin Herbert's really good. I mean, he does have that rib injury thing going on, but he showed he can still throw the ball with it. He did the last couple weeks. But the Guardians got me so pumped up and feeling homery. Like I'm all in on the Guardians because I'm just so pumped we're in the playoffs and we're still playing baseball this late in the season. But yeah, I don't know. The Browns are finally playing like a good team. We were spoiled by playing terrible teams the first 4 weeks of the season. And for how much people are saying we could be 4-0, we could easily be 1-3. That if we miss a field goal, that's where we are.
Yeah.
So your record is who you say you are. Thankfully, the NFC North or the AFC North is 2-2 across the board, minus the crappy Steelers. So we're still in it, in the hunt.
Well, who did the Bengals lose to? They lost a good team.
Steelers.
Oh, yeah, they lost to the Steelers. And then they lost to Buffalo? Or
no, they didn't play Buffalo.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I forget who. I was just thinking that they've lost better games than we have. And they're probably going to crush Atlanta and the Jets. And so.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Browns just because I'm a homer, and every Sunday I believe the Browns are going to win. But I'm hoping that they're a team that plays to the level of competition, because if not, they're going to get boat raced. If they let San Diego get on top of them. I took Dawson to first football game I took my oldest son to. It was the Chargers, Browns, and it was Tyrod. It was the second game in that season with Tyrod Taylor. And Phillip Rivers just hammered us, just smoked us. And we never played good against San Diego. But I got the Browns winning, squeaking one out.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Well, Crutch, thanks for coming on again.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me.
This has been an excellent episode of Andy Less Guard Chug.
Yeah.
And I got to give ourselves a round of applause. We did a very good job of not accidentally saying Indians.
Nobody.
I was ready to tell someone to finish whatever they had in their hand if they did it. The only time I said Indians was when I was doing the power rankings as a joke. So I'll applaud us.
If you review the tape, I almost said it.
You held back.
And I've done it from time to time, and I caught myself and I caught it. And it was in the I almost called them the Indians again. Yeah.
All right.
That'll happen forever.
With that, go Guards and go Browns.
Go Browns and Guards.